All right. Hello, SWTOR. Good to have you with us on this Saturday evening. We're going to jump into some old wounds here. But first, we're going to go ahead and take a look at a post. We looked at this morning. This is a post about the old wounds error, and it is similar to what I'm having. I think mine's a little bit different. I think I'm getting stuck at a different spot, but it's the same kind of getting stuck. So they're acknowledging that they're having an issue, and they're working on a patch to actually fix it. So we're work amok. I think this is people are getting through all these missions, and it's not allowing it to update. I'm not 100% sure. Let's do some more, looking into and research on the actual error. But this hopefully will actually fix our problem as well. So as our recap or a review, if you look, Old Wounds now has been put all the way back to launch. So last week we were playing, and we went through all the conversations and got to the point where we had a meeting and we got this first kind of task, the first gameplay task. And I went through the conversation and got this as, I was kind of like, well, I don't know if I need to be cleansed. Is it really that important? And I wanted to see what the options were. And then I was hoping to be able to abandon this. And I wasn't thinking, I don't think you can usually abandon these purple quests, or most of the main story quests, like the planetary ones you might be able to. And then I wanted to go through the conversation again with the oh no, I'm all in, Center Ray said to support the culture and stuff like that, and see if this stays a bonus or if it is not. My gut is it probably does. And so then in my infinite wisdom, and I probably shouldn't have done this, when I couldn't fix this, I'm like, well, maybe if I just reset Old Wounds, which it did allow me to do. I reset it all the way back. We went through the conversation again. If you want to see the conversations in the entirety up to this point, it's about 45 minutes of just conversations. And that's just selecting one option. That's not exploring. And so we did Old Wounds again, got to this point, and then the conversation that should unlock this quest was not available. So Old Wounds was kind of stuck. Over the week, I talked to customer service a couple of times, put in a couple of tickets. The first time they said, well, it looks like this is, I think they thought I was stuck here. So they actually moved it to the next phase of work amok to help me get past that stuck. That's not where I was stuck. So, I'll take, I don't want to say the blame, but maybe I just didn't communicate what was going on. So I reset it back. I put another ticket in and be like, hey, I referenced the ticket. I'm like, thank you for doing this. But where I'm stuck is the actual Old Wounds quest. And so then I got another response that was, just work through, work amok. But then a lot of people are reporting, I don't know if it was a patch or something happened where Old Wounds got reset for a lot of people. So we went through the Old Wounds to the stuck point, but now we've got the launch back. So we're going to just do some experimenting. And we're going to go ahead and run this quest. I'm going to leave this alone. What I'm hoping is this is either just we'll run this quest and it'll just dead end and go away, and then we can just start over, or it might give us the next quest. So if we look back, it looks like there are 4 quests as part of this story arc, right? So if I do work amok and it gives me unwelcome visitors, we might run through this content just to experience it. I am not going to complete this if it allows me to keep going, because once they put that patch in, I think it's going to reset everything and I'll get to start all over again, and then I'll run it again. Now, I may or may not run that on stream since we'll have seen it a couple times by then, but that's kind of where we're at there. So that's the plan for tonight. We're just going to go ahead and jump into some Voss goodness here. If you haven't ever joined us or watched one of these live streams, we stream every Saturday, once or twice. I've been doing 2 here recently, in order to support a charity organization called Extra Life. Extra Life is gamers streaming and playing games, and asking for donations for the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals. So the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals are all across the U.S. and Canada, Puerto Rico, I think. Here, let's just take a look. So this is the Extra Life page. This is my personal profile page. If we look at... Actually, I think I can get to it in here. Let's see. Hospitals. So if you look here, there are hospitals, Alaska, Alabama, Arizona, or Arkansas, Arizona, a bunch in California, Georgia, Hawaii, Iowa, Kentucky, Louisiana. It's all U.S. And then, okay, so then we got these in Canada. So there are some Canadian ones. And I thought there was one in Puerto Rico. I might be misremembering that. But these are all part of the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals. And so this is where the money goes. And, oh, here we go. Let's see in here. There's all the states. United States. Oh, there's some Australia as well. Australia, Canada. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. But so we got some Canadian ones. We got some Australian ones. So this is what we put our money into, right? This is where we're trying to do stuff. So, all right, let's go ahead and get that back to the game, and then that view is where I actually put my. So I can see the donations when they pop in. Also, it's where my chat sits and all that kind of stuff. So let's get that all reset. Okay, so Old Wounds is on Voss. At this point, I think I have traveled a bit. Let's look. Yeah, I've been to Onderon this morning. So we can't go directly there. But you will notice on Voss. Oh, is that where Old Wounds is, I bet? Yeah. So that is completely reset. I think when we just hit the reset button. So when we say we reset the quest, there's two ways that can happen here. So if we look at our mission log here, in here, like I can abandon the bonus mission, but I can't if I could abandon this, I think our problem would be solved. But that could cause some exploits and some problems. Like if you get a mission here, because most of these will be like in instances and things, you run the mission but don't complete it, abandon it, run the mission, don't complete it, abandon it. I could see some exploits there. But if we look at Old Wounds is back to its pure launch mode. When we hit reset, I think it just took us to the first conversation. We didn't have to relaunch the mission. So that is completely starting over. So we're going to leave that alone, though. As a matter of fact, I'm going to turn it off. Okay, so because of that, if we look at our map here, we do have to go back to Voss. And Voss now has two locations. So this is the old, original storyline. Voss is a planet in the first 50 level storyline. They've added this Interpreter's Retreat. So this is a new area based off of the latest story arc. So we'll go ahead and travel. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. And if you have any great plans for Sunday before we all go back to work on Monday, hope you have a continued great weekend. Okay. So, if we had the old Wounds, what was happening is this room right here, this building, there's a door, and that door is an instance. And we could go inside the instance. So some of the things I was reading in a thread, some people couldn't even get in the instance. There's been all kinds of weird stuff happening there. And so what was happening is I could get inside the instance, and the two people were standing on this bottom side of the building, and there should be a conversation there that moves the story forward. This conversation icon, like if you roll your cursor over something, you'll notice this icon changes, right? So the I don't think they're... We'll check it later, but this icon will change into the little chat, story icon. I doubt there's anything out here that will do that, but you can see the icon changes based off of context. So that would pop up on the guy you're supposed to click on. But when I would right click on it, it would just flash or do nothing essentially. And so I was kind of stuck. So we're not going to even bother going down there. But there is this new, this is the mission, right? So we've got this bonus mission to retrieve the incense, and then we go over here. This is the phase that they reset this to say, okay, well, if this is making you stuck, let's finish this phase. And then the next phase had some icons out here, some stuff to do out here. Not exactly what I was looking for, but okay. The other thing that we should do is Voss is kind of a force mysticy spiritually planet. We probably don't want to run an assassin droid. I don't think we can run Senare. I don't think she's a available companion. Yeah, she's there. So we can't run her. We kind of want to do a positive forcey feel. So, we can't run those guys anyway. No, no to Treek. Probably don't want a big Gamerian guard. Probably not a bounty hunter or a smuggler or a robot. No, maybe Master Reynos. We could run Master Reynos. We'll stay away from the dark side here. Oh, Amity is very spiritual. I think we finished all of Amity's missions. Yeah, we might do that. Although they don't speak English. Let's see, who else do we have? So, if you haven't joined us before, I usually get stuck running my same companions. For me, it's M1. I love running with M1. But some people have asked, it's like, hey, why don't you run some other companions? So, I've been trying to dig some of these other companions out on occasion. Ooh, I need to get Gus's level up. I've got quite a few 50s on this character. Not as many as others. What do we have up here? Lana's Dark Side. Yeah, I don't have a lot of Pro Force, Happy-Go-Lucky. So I think Amity. Amity makes sense. So let's get him.
Powering down.
Alright, see you, HK. Alright, let's head out. Fix our map. Okay, we're going to look around here a little bit since we're in exploration mode. I think we flew around this area. I'm not going to grab any of these other missions. I think there are dailies, but we'll kind of...
is the altar of clarity.
Oh.
To begin the ritual, gather sacred incense from those crates and burn it.
Okay. There are these missions though, because I think this is a daily area. Okay, that's the flashpoint. We might try that later. The flashpoint is said to be story adjacent. It's not part of the story.
I had hoped the three's presence would encourage everyone.
Oh, there's
to
a mission
work
board
harder.
here.
Nothing has improved.
Give it time. The three will grow tired.
Initiative has
of the
ignored
delay,
my request for a long time.
and
If
they will make
they
it known.
will not help me, I will find someone who will. I received a mission in investigating the ruins of the Shrine of Silence. Please speak to me for further details. Shrine of Silence crate. Alright, I don't want to break anything anymore. The shrine... Let's see, we've got Shrine of Judgment. What else do we have out there? That's the Shrine of Judgment. We've got a worker camp. Shrine of Contemplation. So there's the Shrine of Silence. This might be what we call a Herald quest. Where this is just driving you towards... Yeah, okay, let's take a look. Okay, so that's a whole nother thing, and it's got its own launch. Okay, yeah. So it's listed under Flashpoint. So this is probably the kind of the first version of it, right? And then if you want to run it over and over, it'll do one of two things. You know, you can run it off of here. So I think you'll notice here, yeah, this is now open. So there's a story wrapper on the slash point, and then in the future, you can usually do that story wrapper once, and then you can go through here and do the Shrine of Silence over and over again. That's interesting. There are rewards for the story mode, but nothing for, at least nothing listed there. So, okay, again, for right now, we're going to stay away from this. So we'll go ahead and just abandon that. And so you'll notice that that went away. Okay, I think that gets everything kind of set up. It's the only two missions I see here. Is there a reputation track for what we're doing now? Don't see a new reputation track. Now, it might be... Yeah, it might be that it just hasn't shown up yet. It might not list until you maybe do this first thing. I'm not sure. Alright. Retrieve incense. Is that what this is? Okay. Burn incense. Wow, it's quite a torch.
Good. Now you must wash the ash from your hands. Use the basin.
The basin that just appeared out of nowhere. I like the water flowing down, but would have been nice, and because this is in the open world, it might be beyond what we're doing, but the basin being there and then the water turns on, but I don't know. Are we washing our hands?
Thank you, outsider. You are free to enter the Shrine of Judgment.
That wasn't much. But, so most likely, I would guess the difference. If you didn't do that, usually what you'll get is, in the conversation after this is over, you'll get a different option, right? The Voss will be slightly insulted that you didn't follow their traditions and stuff like that. Okay, maybe that was there, and it just glowed once we did the thing. Alright, let's rock and roll. Let's go cause some problems. Oh, we are in my traditional armor big gun mode, which also I've gotten feedback over the streams of why don't you change your armor more often. So let's see what feels Voss like. Do I have anything? I doubt it. Could always go back to the bellhead. That is ugly as sin. That's not feeling very Vossy. Little Gormacky. That definitely is not Vossy. I like that look. I've always liked this GSI heavy duty armor. There's two sets of GSI armor that you can get. That's one of them. Nothing IOCath, nothing Outlander. Oh, we might run Righteous Enforcer. I like that. We won't go Pirate. If I took the belt off of that, that's not bad looking, but that again has more of a Gormacky feel. Alright, let's go Righteous Enforcer. Let's rock and roll. Okay. You're on your own personal face, group mates. Okay, sure. I usually leave all those on. I don't know why. I usually know these things, but help the restoration workers to safety. So we have, looks like your standard, just kind of fight your way in. Probably a clickable somewhere in here. Alright, we got them grouped up. Knock them down. Alright, let's do a little bit of a map fix here. I still haven't 100% decided where I want my map to be, so I'll just move it up so we can see the whole thing. That's not bad, it's just wasted space down here, which I don't like. Okay, so I see workers in here. So let's clear out the enemies. So you can see some of our achievements are popping here. I may guess when we talk to anybody in this group, it's going to release the group. Yep, there we go. Run away! Oh, and they just disappeared. I was hoping they would at least come around the corner and run for the exit. Alright. Oh, there was probably going to run out of time to get that. Let's see. Yep, it dropped before we harvested it. Alright, got to remember we're fighting droids. So, droids, if you have scavenging, anything that's strong or above, usually you can harvest it. Creatures, if you have bio, you can harvest those. Are there any other things you fight? I don't think so. You can get other wild things like crystals and stuff like that. But as far as things you fight, I think those are the only two from my memory. Okay, I am gonna make let's go ahead and put him over to heals. That way we don't have to stop and heal ourselves.
Thank you, outsider.
See how far they make it. Yeah, it's a little disappointing. I expect them to despawn. That's pretty normal. But I would expect them to run farther than that. And then I forgot to harvest again. That's alright. I don't use the crafting materials for very much. I usually just, if I need something, I just buy it. As opposed to crafting it. Alright, looks like, oh. So it kind of looks like an instance over there. It's just the lighting. I do like that these guys are kind of melee, so helps group them up a little bit. I do kind of like the sound of this one. So I think this is the Gree assault rifle. Yeah, the Gree Helix autocannon. And then I've got blue crystals put in to kind of match the blue highlights of the armor. The only thing I don't like about this armor, I like this kind of pattern here, and you can kind of see the rhythm of it, right? Let's go up here to the chest piece. You can see this rhythm, but then the eyes blink at arguably twice the rhythm. Like if we look here, it's like on, whereas this is on. So if this blinked at kind of the rhythm of these, I think it would be cooler. But that's just a very minor quibble. Alright, let's go get this last group and remember to harvest our guy. The Berserk Loader droid. I'm thinking 150 droids is not going to be hard. Unless this is the only place you get them. I'm going to guess also probably in the flashpoint. If I had probably in the flashpoint. Alright, this time we'll remember to let Amity harvest that dude.
Why is this happening?
Okay, there we go. So now we have to locate the artifact team leader. So what do we get? Premium duranium plating. Yeah, level 11. For harvesting. Which is right now I think the top crafting components. Probably could have just run past that guy. He was a little late getting here. But we'll do it as we think it was intended. Not in a way to... don't stand in stupid. Although, again, this is a story arc, so I don't expect the combat to be too terribly difficult. Okay, before we get out of here, so one thing that I wish they would do as we'll call it a quality of life. It's not quite quality of life. Is this instance that we're in, right? I don't know if we'll ever come back here. We might not. But because it's an instance, once you're done with this story, you can't come back in here. And there's reasons for that. Like, they don't want you just to come in here and just harvest the droids and stuff. But it would be cool, and there's a lot of places like this in the game world where it's like, if there was called a role-playing reason, but basically you could go into these spaces, these instances, and the enemies don't spawn, the story doesn't spawn, but just use the area as a cool place to visit or look around and stuff like that. Because there's some cool level design here that if you don't stop and look around, you're not going to see it again, right? Like, so if we look, oh cool, I can mount up. So I'm not going to click on him quite yet. It's a pretty small little space, but and I get into this mode, I was just following the objectives. I wasn't paying that close of attention to what was going on. But if we walk back or fly back to the start here, there's definitely this is a decrepit shrine. So it was built, so you can see that, it's got stuff, but you can, it's definitely in disrepair. This little piece, is definitely something we see, but again, we got cleanup going on, so we got like dumpsters here. I'm not sure what those are supposed to do. Looks like a collapse of some kind, maybe, here on the left. What's going on down here? So yeah, here this is completely collapsed out, and I don't know if it's not really scaffolding, but you got this support structure, maybe trying to keep the column there from collapsing in or something like that. They definitely reused that part over and over. I'm not sure what it is. So that's kind of a dead end, but it looks like there was some kind of a arch here, so this is probably a passageway. So if you think back to the original story, like the Shrine of Healing, there's places you can go inside the Shrine of Healing. These are other shrines. This one is the Shrine of, what was it called? Shrine of Judgment. So alright, so again, I'm gonna guess this is probably, so if you look, there's a wall there and a wall there, but we got collapses on both sides to kind of create like a choke point there. Kind of looks like there is an air gap there, so it's probably supposed to be something. And I don't know if later on that might be something that they do. Like, you come back into and this is the cool thing about this being an instance. You come back into the Shrine of Judgment later on down the road, and more of the repair's been done, so it unlocks stuff. Maybe not in this story arc, but in a future story arc, that's possible. Again, this little, I don't know what that piece is supposed to be. I don't know if it was part of the original shrine. See if we can get on top of it here. I don't think so. Or if that's repair work being done. So, all right, so same thing here. We've got the original shrine, a lot of collapse. And the damage was done in the storyline of the Eternal Throne and Fallen Empire, when Arkin attacked all the worlds that we know. I can't decide if this is meant to be like bracing that was put in later or part of the original shrine, because there's definitely a lot of it in here. Okay, so obviously there's a collapse here. You can even see on the map that this looks like it was supposed to move forward. But again, I like to appreciate there were designers and level designers that thought about this. They thought about the story. They thought about how the environment tells a story. One of my favorite examples of that is, let's say you're playing a post-apocalyptic style, even a zombie game or something like that, and you come upon a house. And you enter the house, and the house is just ransacked. There's chairs knocked over. There's food left out on the table that's rotting and stuff like that. That tells a story. The environment tells a story that something happened here, or even people left in a hurry because something happened. Now you go into that same house, and it's dusty, but like all the plates are put away and all the dishes are put away and the chairs are where they're supposed to be, and it just looks abandoned. That tells the story of people leaving in an orderly fashion, right? So it's one of those. Sorry about that. My Pokemon alarm just went off. So, you know, those tell two different stories. They tell the story of like, hey, an emergency happened, but we knew it was coming and prepared for it and left. Or, holy cow, something out of the ordinary happened, and we didn't even clean the food off the table. We just left. And so, you know, environmental, you know, that's what game designers and game developers do. They work out these details. They figure out, you know, what story is being told. So, you know, putting these collapses in, you know, what happened, you know, it can tell a story. So again, this looks to be, like, I would argue, it looks like it's cabling and piping, but I'm not 100% sure if that is meant to be. It looks retrofit, right? Like, it doesn't match the lighting and column aesthetic here. So these feel like, although this one doesn't work that way, these feel like something would be added, although because that goes into the rock, maybe not. So maybe they are original. They are symmetrical. So if you look, we've got two on each side. So maybe they were meant to be part of the original. Can't tell by this stuff hanging down. You know, there's a light. There's kind of like these metal pieces hanging down. Like, this is not original. You know, this is part of the worker crew coming in. That might be original. You know, but they've got like these fire things, so like these lights being stuck on. You know, we'll have to see if we see that image or that kind of pattern. Is that the Shrine of Judgment logo? And if it is, then this would be original. So, but like for me, like this aesthetic, the shrine aesthetic itself, these lightings, these kind of lighting, fire things, don't feel like it matches this, right? But again, I'm not 100% sure. See, like this one doesn't have a light added to it. So maybe the lights are, not these little lights, but like that big light here. Maybe that's meant to be added later. Not sure. Okay. Let's go ahead and go in here. So same thing, right? There is probably, there's supposed to be, whoop, don't stand in the fire. That'll hurt you. It's kind of cool. Probably supposed to be, you know, so like here, you know, that's definitely a tunnel. But again, we've got collapse. We've got, you know, this beam probably fell. We've got broken piping in here. Can't tell if that piping looks like it could be part of one of those little weird arches. See, this one goes all the way back up, and it's also got the light on it. And again, this is restoration equipment in here. Probably restoration equipment. This feels important. Does this fire burn us? Yep. Alright, so these are usually missiles, so that's odd. I guess you could say just using it as explosives. I do kind of like these. They almost look like tanks or something like that. Okay, I think we have done our due diligence of looking around. So that's a Gormak. Appears to be captured by that droid we killed. And all that time he hasn't gotten up, which is dedication to his role.
Tran vienmongi ho vabaka vihutroi quatu fulam. Va mingwang kam jiwan qua magilan va. Ne so fondi ko nagda neva e aknan ni matan.
Oh, let's start with remain silent.
Hunting tran vindong fa langi rich mung komodiwa.
All right, we'll start with 2.
Why back lam victor.
Okay, that appears to be, we could be right at the end. These conversations may not be that long. So let's see.
Lam duak. Vi kong ropa la need na kakamati.
All right, let's see what else we got.
What ne? Huavaska. Bam ki na kong ham trong wang lao.
All right, so those two are just kind of like, I did it, but don't care.
What ne?
All these are kind of like, well, it's whatever you guys want.
Kundi tremoyo but kum masang.
All right, so what one would be most us? Yeah, they're all about the same.
Huavaska. Bam ki na kong ham trong.
We'll go with appreciated.
The chow troksha. Kwai kong ni bao li ching tong doro ngao. Ni go wai dat wai chakam lang. Kong ni wai he trio lei. Kong ni go wai bam lui cho tai fai lai angor sun.
Cool, more conversation. All right. And again, I usually work my way from what I wouldn't do to what I would do. There's a danger in that. You can sometimes fall out of the conversation. Although at this point, we can reset this if we have to. So we could always do that. All right, so here, this will probably be the next quest. Or the next part of this quest. Whoa, there we go. Alright, so I just realized that with my donation thing, that's kind of hard to see. So let's go ahead and open that up. If you're trying to read along, since it's not in English. So most of these, you know, yes, well, and you probably could have saw that one. The shorter ones you can see. Alright. Let's see. Need to talk to the 3. Helping out gets me to the front line. Now we should get the same sequence of I want to ask you more, so we'll jump out of that. Don't think that's going to change anything. Let's go 2. I don't think that's going to change anything. Yeah, same there. That seems to be our MO. Alright, so there's the ask. I understand. I'll get these artifacts back. So the questioning ones, oftentimes you can, in this style of conversation, is interesting because you can often do more than one of those. So we're going to go to 4, but like 3, 2, and 1, we might be able to do in one conversation. Okay, that feels like it's close to the end, but again, hard to say. Alright, let's try 3 here. So we've seen that one before. So a couple options get us to that. So okay, so that didn't give us multiple options. Okay, so sometimes in that conversation, let's get back to that. This one's not doing it. But in this conversation style, it's get back to that. So sometimes what you'll get is like you say, what can you tell me about these invaders? And he gives you that dialogue. Then it brings you back to this, but is removed that option. And then you have the other 4, you know, or maybe the top 3 or something like that. So it kind of depends on how the writer decided to weave the story. So that's pretty much just okay, I'll do it. So I think we've got our path. We'll go 2, 1, 1. 2 or 3 would probably be what this character would do. Even maybe 5. I'm military, so I'm always looking for intel, right? That tends to be the way I play this character. The better intel you have, the better you can do. Okay, so this is something that they do on occasion. It's kind of nice. We were standing back here, and they teleported us here, so we didn't have to just walk out. That's kind of cool. We may end up coming back and talking to him. So it also moves him to the entrance, which is kind of nice. Alright, so what do we have here? We have recover artifacts from sliced droids. Let's head to the north. There is a quick travel up there that it would be nice to unlock. Berserk droid leader. Okay, so the leaders also give them. So Haywire, that also might be a slice droid. We got a worker droid. So what I'm going to guess is when you see something like this, you'll notice that there's these 3 locations. That just means you can go to any of them. We shouldn't have to go to all 3, I would guess. So usually I skip the elites just because they take longer to kill, but since it's our first time here, I don't think we'll run into any like codex entries or anything like that, but sometimes there's bonus missions, sometimes there's hidden stuff. So we'll go ahead and do that one. The other thing we're going to check here. Let's jump into location. Went through this last time, so there is a thing to defeat beasts, which we do have. So what I normally do in these, there's 3 stages, right? There's a 25, a 75, and a 150. I just turned the top one on. You can turn them all on if you want. You know, so now we're tracking, you know, the 25, the 75, and the 150. I usually just turn the end one on because then I know I'm done with that achievement line. But that's just a personal thing. So they're, you know, repeatable missions. So these are your dailies. Once this turns into a daily area, or it's either a daily area or I don't know if that's all linked to the flashpoint or not, but the flashpoint has its own set of achievements, so it feels like there's going to be a daily area here. So we're not going to worry about turning those on. Contemplate silence, contemplate focus, contemplate illumination. Defeat Susurus, Big Grumch, and Vagrant Shadow. We'll probably do a stream where we go and look and try to do those kind of things. All right, we got our droid line. So like I said, we've already got the 25. We're almost to hit the 75. And then the 150 will hit there. And then story missions, complete old wounds, not going to happen today. Initiative, complete task for the shrine restoration. Turn that on because I'm curious if each of those 4 missions are the 4 tasks. So, okay. Wow, stuff's blowing up all over the place. I do want to walk over here so that we get the quick travel point. So now we can quick travel up to here if we need to, before we kind of move on. Is there anything else here? So personal face, that means that we're probably going to come up to here at some point in the story. Alright. I was trying to let him, he looked like he was going that way, so I went the other way. I'm not sure what they're doing. I didn't want to take anything from, you know, steal their spawn, but I'm not sure what they're doing, so. Okay, looks like we got everything we needed. Work amok, so we'll go back to there. While we're out here, though, we will kind of look around a little bit, so. There's definitely something going on here. I'm not sure what's the deal with the explosions. So I don't know if something's being shot here. I'm not sure. Alright, let's see what's in this direction. And we're just gonna run away from this stuff right now. What are you? Well, I was gonna run away, but looks like we're fighting. Combustible slam. That's nasty. Okay, let's get that taken care of. Let's make you stunned. And then just take one of these at a time. Okay, there we are getting healed. Where are my heals? Okay, so before we shoot here, we're gonna let our healer catch up here a little bit. Get us back up on health. We got 30 seconds still. Alright. We'll interrupt that so we don't get hit by it. You're gonna get hit by that one. So our interrupt's right down here in the corner. And notice it's got a cooldown. Alright, there we go. Let's look around a little more. My goal is not to fight a bunch of stuff out here. As long as they don't knock me off my speeder, we'll keep running. So these matriarchs must have an attack, that slam or whatever it happens to be, must have a decent knockdown. Somebody slipped in behind me and helped me with that one. Kind of a cool, this is kind of a cool area. What do we got? Some kind of a, oh, intake device. There might be some kind of repair or quest to that, because notice that it's named when you roll over it, you know, as opposed to, you know, like these rocks or what got us? So Zerka, are these Zerka infiltrators? Are these what are like shooting those bombs? So I wonder if there's a part of the story that's like these guys are attacking. So Zerka's on the planet. We got hit by the explosion and it pulled us into combat. So. Alright, more runaway droids or slice droids. And a lot of this is the same or similar wildlife that we're going to have on Voss in general. That's a thing. Oops, run away from those guys. Seems to be a second level here. I guess we're fighting. Whew. We pulled some spawn here. We're gonna pop all of our defenses here. This wasn't my plan. My plan was just to run away from everything, but so be it. Oh, we are starting to get some of those counted as beasts. Alright, there's another water intake thing. And we're just kind of in exploration mode here. Whoa, what was that? Contemplate. Take a few moments to ponder the mysteries. There's an achievement for that. Alright. Oops. Let's get this one. Exploration. Contemplate silence, contemplate focus, contemplate illumination. I'm going to turn these on. Oh, what's down here? Defeat circle infiltrators. Oh, I bet you that might be why those people were running around that area with explosions. They're trying to get hit by those. Find the very tiny Mawar. So we fought that one infiltrator. So that might be a thing. Let's just turn all this stuff on. So we got silence, illumination, and focus. So that one was focus. Why is it focus? I do not know. Why are we not showing up on the map? I do not know. We're showing up on the world map. There we go. Now I'm on the map. Alright, so now I'm curious. You got waterfall here. Looks like it could be a waterfall there, and we had that waterfall there. Let's go back to that other one. Yeah, I don't think this one's probably going to be one. Nope. Alright, we're going to try to run away from these guys. We'll see what happens. Nope. Alright, see if we can get the group all grouped up here. Which one's that one? This is 75. Heal me! Heal me! Alright, well the plan wasn't to go after some of these achievements, but now I'm curious. They are fun to find if you're just trying to logic them out. Like we've got this whole section here. What's going on here? Okay, this is the Shrine of Contemplation, which we can just go into. Is one of these... No, illumination and silence. Alright, well, let's look around. Okay, there's an instance there. So what it looks like is you've got an open world area here. And then potentially you got the one instance, but there is a bad guy down here, but let's fight it. I doubt it is anything. Yeah, it looks to be similar to the stuff that was outside. You get a little help from that guy. But yeah, I didn't expect anything to kick in here. Alright, let's go looking around a little bit more. Now this is all open world, so I'm not going to worry too much about like looking at the architecture and stuff, because it's not an instance. Oh yeah, another infiltrator. So maybe they're just a random if you move around enough. So this should give us 2. Hope you got a hit in on it and got credit for it, buddy. So that's another thing we should keep an eye on, is if we see, especially if we see a Republic person fighting an infiltrator, get a shot in on it. Not sure if we'll get credit if it is an Imperial fighting it, so. Yeah, okay, we're not gonna disturb them. I don't want to mess up anybody's issues. I did have, like, I feel bad every once in a while. I don't remember if it was on stream or not. I was running dailies on Droma Koss, and I think I screwed up somebody's progress on one of the missions, and I feel bad about that. Like, I like to help. You know, it's like, if I take some shots at whatever you're doing. Yeah, there must be a mission, because they're running up to these warriors, and then the droids are spawning, so there must be a mission that they're working on. Like, we shouldn't be in here yet. So we'll go ahead and get back outside. And then we'll keep kind of heading this general direction. Is this anything? So I'm kind of working off of the assumption that we meditated in that waterfall for focus, so will that be the way the other ones work? Now I'm sure that Volk probably has one, SWTOR probably has one. 2 of the places I go to get stuff. I'll grab some free metal if they're not going to harvest it. But I'm sure they've got some guides written. So see how this doesn't highlight like those intake things do? Alright, let's see if this does anything. We went up in here, so. Okay, so that assumption was false. Like, oh, maybe you just meditate at all these waterfalls. Oh, they're gonna knock us off our speeder. Yep. Okay, they evaded, so it's not so bad. So I will admit, I get impatient. I'm doing it a little bit here, just for something different. But I will get impatient and be like, okay, I don't want to accidentally, like I accidentally found that one. Don't necessarily want to accidentally find all of these things. Like I don't want to go, if they're along the wall, like around the entire environment like this, right? I'm looking for obvious looking things. If we find something like that, we will go ahead and do it, but beyond that, I think we'll start heading our way back towards... Yeah, I don't know that you can purposely get hit by those. Like, they always seem to be just away from us, so... Okay, what are the other two? Silence and illumination. So focus was down there. Contemplation. Judgment. I still want to go down here. We haven't been down there yet. I think impartially we're just kind of looking around. So that's where the mission goes back to. See, so see how that one was gray? that was an Imperial fighting that one. Oh, they're chasing somebody. So these won't attack me, which is kind of nice because they had aggro on that person. See, like this area here. This looks purposeful, right? Don't know if it is, but it looks that way. Like I don't see anything obvious that and again, I might have just went past it. I'm sure if somebody has it, they're like, "Oh, you were just there. How did you miss it?" Because I'm not being very due diligence-y. So what do we have? Contemplate silence, contemplate an illumination. Like this doesn't feel like either. Like I would be silent or illuminative there. There's these little benches, which are kind of cool. Like this feels, you know, like it was meant to be something. Again, I'm only going off of the level design. You know, trying to let the level design lead me to something. You know, these little benches here. Let's see, do these guys count for beasts? We've gotten 15 beasts. Let's check something here. Yeah, those counted, so that's very farmable. Alright, there is another waterfall over here. So again, they might not all three be waterfalls either. You know, it's like you gotta be careful. Like if the first one we found was a waterfall, so my brain has now locked in on like, okay, that's what we have to look. Like illumination, it would make sense if it's under some like sunbeam or something like that. Not sure why focus would be in a waterfall. I think that's the one we got, right? Don't want to go back into my chat, but we can look it up. Yeah, we got focus. Let distractions fade in deluge of tranquil water surrounds you. Oh, there's hints in here. Consider the silence of the places long unseen. Consider the light that shines in the darkness, illuminating the shadows. Okay, so there are kind of hints there. Long unseen. Don't know what that would be. And shadows might not even be in this area, right? It might be up here. I don't think it would be in. I hate these spitter guys. So what I could have done is run over there, then these two would have followed me, and we could have grouped them up, but... So long unseen and shadows, I think, was the two clues. Let's fix our map. What's this one? Oh! There's something there. Contemplate. So, what does this look like? Alright, that was just dumb luck. Although I would say, seeing this like little shrine thing, I would have probably popped up there. Also looks like there might be a mission here later. I don't know. There's kind of a blockage there, so... Alright, let's go ahead and ponder, contemplate here. Let's see which one we get. Illumination would be my guess. That's the one it feels like. I'm probably wrong, but... Yep, It's the silence one, which was consider the silence of places long unseen. So the maybe because it's all broken down. All right. Well, we found 2. It's not doing too bad. Again, I don't think it's going to be... The waterfall was because of the tranquil water thing. So the last one is illumination. Consider the light that shines in the darkness, illuminating the shadows. Alright, well, since we just found one over here, we found one over here. Feels like something up there would make sense. Again, I don't even know if they're all in this area. Could be up in the one of the Gormak areas as well. Like, these have little lights, but that's probably too literal. Guess we'll go right down the river. There's light over here. But that's, again, feels like there's going to be some tunnel or something along those lines that are like, okay, that's interesting. It's kind of glowy. Is that anything? That could just been an effect. We'll go back and check it here in a second. I'm just going to break aggro. So I have to fight those guys. Like, this is very lit up. I don't know why. I think we've already been here. Yep. Alright, and then this is where we came in. Alright, there's something here in the architecture. So let's go check that out. See, now it's become a completionism challenge because we found 2. It's like, well, if you found 2, how can you not find the 3rd? That's all lights. Fountain of Purity. That's different. Purity is different than illumination. But I can't imagine it wouldn't be like back behind there or something. Check the stairs. Check the little benches. This feels like it has a purpose later, though. Okay, well, it was the thing. It's just not the thing that we want. Alright, we've been there. That's the shrine. I think we went down there, but now that we're looking for different things, let's pop back over there. Kind of go back up the... Back up these ramps. These guys we should be able to run away from. It's the golds that knock us off. These have little hanging lanterns. But again, I think that's just probably not anything. Because again, that's one of the shrines. Alright, we're fighting. Let's see what all decided to finish chasing us down. I mean, we get I think credit for these, so wasn't planning on finishing this achievements tonight, but so be it. This doesn't feel like the path to what we need. Alright, let's get out of here. Alright, we're looking for darkness. Darkness and light. I did get attacked back here by a infiltrator, but like these guys, he's gonna knock us off. Almost guarantee you. Sure, let's fight all three. Okay, we're gonna stun the gold, the elite. That'd be a rough fight, fighting all three of them. Crap. My companion's dying. Ah, I shot the wrong one. Okay, we're gonna run. Things went badly. Oh, that's even worse. Sure, let's come up on these guys as well. Fight them all. Whee! Wow, they don't give up. Alright, you little droid don't have your backup now. So I'll take you out. And then the other guy gave up. So it could be inside this worker camp. We haven't really looked at kind of this north side here. That was the silence one. That was the focus one. That was the fountain of purity. There was nothing there. This felt like something, but I didn't find anything along there. So let's just kind of go to the north side here and see if there's anything that looks promising. It's kind of a weirdness in the terrain here, but not feeling like it's going to be much. There's maybe something up here. Oh, not this way. Could be where we can't get up there. Yeah, I don't think so. Maybe there? I can't tell. Maybe that direction? Yeah, I don't see anything there. Yeah, that goes around that side. I don't think there's going to be anything. Goes our companion. So there's some pathfinding. They are completely lost on how to get to us. It also doesn't feel like this should be that difficult of a jumping puzzle to find, so let's see if he'll follow me this way. Yep. Now, is there a break somewhere in here that he can't get across? Or could he just not get up here? That's a possibility. Right, it's this rock right here, I bet. Watch this. Yep. He's gonna run all the way around because he can't traverse that rock. Okay, we'll take a couple shots trying to get up here. But this doesn't feel obvious enough. Yeah, I don't think there's anything there. Might be wrong, but it's kind of darkish in this canyon. But again, that's just sun shadows, so. Honestly, to me, so far from what I've seen, these benches seem not like, we'll call them searcher or repair group, right? These feel like something, you know, like they lead back. And there's another one. Did we come up here? I don't know if we came up here or not. Alright, let's clear this area and then we'll look around here. pack leader. Take him out. We are out of energy. Too much area attacking. But again, this doesn't match the description. Like, it's not like dark up here. Consider the light that shines in the darkness, illuminating the shadows. And while there are lights up here, I don't think it's... don't think that's anything. Again, so while they do have these benches, even this area is not like light illuminating the shadows or anything. Okay, let's go turn in the mission, and we'll see where our next phase takes us. Ooh. Said anything? A peppery slime gourd. What is that? Bound unique. A generally repulsive vegetable with a strong odor and slimy texture. Strangely, malware are often seen chewing on these gourds. Something I can use? Nope. It's bound and unique, so feels like something for okay, that's just bio. Okay, well remember that this could be a spawn point for that thing. It's unique, so you can only get one. You can only have one in your inventory at any one time. What's this? Okay, that's just another just gathering. It's not anything special or unique. Interesting, interesting. Alright, well, let's progress the mission here. See what happens.
Oh,
You didn't trust me. That felt a little selfish. Here's what I found. Like the remember me for what I did answer doesn't really fit our personality. Plenty of devices outside the shrine. I told the others not to go near them. It could be dangerous. That's fair. You didn't know me. I am the Alliance commander, though. Alright, that seems to be the natural conclusion. Yeah, they will show us the enemy. Seems to be the kickoff point. So you can see they reuse that line for this. Alright, so I have a feeling. Okay, so Work Amok is done. Okay, it did give us the next quest, I believe. Hold on, let me open up the dev tracker here. Yeah, unwelcome visitors. So yeah, that's the next quest. So we'll go ahead and we'll do this a little bit more. But my gut is once we leave here, there we go. So now, at least for right now, I can't get back in here. Now, usually they don't put things like this inside of there. We'll be able to get back in because I'm probably going to have to redo old wounds here. Alright, so what are we supposed to do now? Examine the scan planted, jeez, devices. Okay, let's see. Solterista. What are we looking for? Contemplate illumination. Illumination. Let's see. Flashpoint quests. Exercising judgment. These are just the missions. Achievements. Here we go. Oh. Alright, contemplate illumination. We're cheating. Light shines in the darkness. Yeah, it's not in this area. Looks like I think my prediction is right. I think nope, it's not in here. Actually, you know what? It is. We were in here. It's up in here. So I cheated. But I think... yeah, I think we've got a quick travel over there. Yeah, right there. Shrine of Contemplation, so... so we're going to go ahead and go get it. Honestly, if we would have found the other one before we went in here, we might have been able to figure this one out. Like, I was thinking it might be up north because it's like darkness means inside. So let's see. Let's see if we would have figured this out naturally. I don't know. I mean, this is a ritualistic area, but I wouldn't say... we were up here too. I think we just kind of went around the backside. Yeah, I don't think I would have... outside again, the other two we just kind of found accidentally. I don't know that I would have found this one. But we'll go ahead and grab it. Okay, so that I don't think was there before. So these are called hidden achievements. Contemplate the mysteries of the galaxy as you explore the grounds of the Shrine of Contemplation. Unlock special decoration on the Vendor and Interpreter's Retreat. So we got a title, Contemplative. So these might have the same, right? There might be a special thing there as well. And because we've done that, there is a... unlocks a special decoration on the Vendor in Interpreter's Retreat. I think that is back here. Yeah. So there is somewhere here. Probably one of these. Flashpoint gear, Vendor. Probably one of these guys is a reputation vendor. or a reputation like vendor. That's where we need to go to get that. Alright, let's go ahead and go up here though. We'll go ahead and work on this unwelcome visitors, see how long it takes. And again, if these keep popping, I don't think I'm going to complete it because I want to do it where old wounds actually works. Okay, so what are we looking at? Examine and scan planted devices. Alright, well the first thing we have to do is find out what they look like. Once you find the first one, it's not too bad, so... nope, that's just a harvesting node. I don't think it's going to be to kill any of these guys. It feels like it's something that'll be on the ground. It's a pretty big area. Nope. Those are both just scavenging. That other person was there first, so if he wants them, I'll let him have them. If he doesn't, I'll take it. Okay, examine and scan planted devices. Alright, let's read the text, see if it gives us a hint. Although they rescue the restoration workers who reprogrammed droids that attack us. According to Megath, the team leader at the shrine, the droids were also planting strange devices in the area near the Gormak workers camp. Locate the devices and scan them to find clues about where they came from. So one of a couple things might be happening here. Oh, there we go. Bet you that's it. So they might be just attached to things. It's a strange combination of elegant junior rustic technology. I did not read all of that, and we got attacked. Hold on. Okay, yeah, let's run over here and fight. That makes sense. Whatever it is, a strange combination of elegant engineering and rustic technology. It seems to be scanning the area and transmitting data simultaneously. Okay, now we know what we're looking for. That does make life easier. Just waiting to see if it respawned, but that's a good standing spot, dude. Alright, there's two. Oh, there's the third. They're all over the place once you find them. So there is a bit of a, like, Gormak and Voss allied during the attacks, but there's still some distrust between them. Okay, that grave problem seems to be the next tick over to the whatever we're going to do next here. Yeah, see, there's still animosity.
Dingo Dango. Vi går word that way Chakaran. Come on me, why hey Triole.
Oh, there we go. Look at all these. They use their powers for their own advantage, not yours. You should ask yourself if the Voss are really committed to this truce. Alright, well that's antagonistic. I get it. I don't pretend to understand how their visions work, but we should focus on fixing things. Don't have an answer. Setting aside generations of conflicts can't be easy, but working together can make you stronger. This truce with the Voss means your world has a future. You have to understand that. Alright, let's start at the bottom, work our way up. Okay, conferring seems like he's done, so... Those are some radically different choices here. So you got the... You guys are right, the Voss are horrible. I don't get it, but, you know, we should just do our thing. Okay, that's the same answer. That's different. Okay, that's a different line. Not sure on that one. I think this guy was one of the first guys we talked to when we arrived, so... It's interesting, though, that that fourth option goes to a whole... Maybe I just didn't let it run. Okay, so yeah, I just didn't let it go far enough. So that's the next... The intro to the next phase of the mission, I bet. So that's kind of pro-Voss. Fair enough, my Gormak friend. Alright, so this should kind of give us the next nexus of the conversation. Alright, so we've got a reveal here that the device has Gormak tech in it. He didn't like that one. Ooh, that sounds like an emergency. Surprised nobody's come along and popped this on me. Alright, we're going to go with 2. I don't want to necessarily say Voss are right. I don't necessarily say the Gormak are right. 2 and 3 aren't too bad. Alright, there's more to these invaders than just looting artifacts. I'll find out what's going on. And that is why I know you had nothing to do with this, despite some poisonous thinking. So it feels like we've got a pro-truce side and a anti-truce side. So we've got like a rebellion going on or something like that, but... Alright, we're going to stay somewhat neutral for these. Alright, we'll let this continue. Alright, we're going up to the rocket camp, so this will probably be the next mission. Oh jeez, 3 is kind of nasty. 2 is kind of like, hey, I'm only doing this to meet the 3. We'll probably go with 1 on this one. It's not the most positive ending to the conversation. Alright, neutral-ish, neutral-ish, neutral-ish. Alright, I don't want to fall off the end of the conversation, so we'll go back here. That's probably the way we're gonna go. You notice that the third option had a couple of different, like, not necessarily the most positive ending to a conversation. Oh, I think we're disconnecting. Yeah, it won't let me out of the conversation. Our first disconnect of the evening. Hopefully it doesn't end that conversation on us. That would suck. This hasn't been a bad story so far. The stuff in this latest, story arc, I did like the Shea Vizsla story arc. I think that was pretty good. So what was that one? The last one, I think, before this one. Okay. Yep, cool. We're still in. We haven't finished that one. Okay, so one more thing to kind of look at here. Yeah, I think those both said hurry. So that's one where you get a little bit more conversation if you go that route, if you're interested in it. Okay, let's wrap this one up. I'm torn between 2 and 3. Like, 2 is making a deal. Let's see what that text looks like again. If we like it, we'll stick with it. If not, we'll go back and do 1. Yeah, it's not overly selfish. It's just kind of like, sure, I'm happy to help, but make sure that you scratch my back, I scratch yours type of thing. Alright, unwelcome visitors. Let me go back to the dev tracker here. Oh, we're still in mission 2. So we haven't tripped onto the third mission. All right, so this is an instance. All right, aid the Gormak workers against the invaders. All right, Zerka. Alright, one set done. Alright, so we'll kind of look around here. This is the the Gormak work camp. Yep. So a little more Gormak-y architecture, although this is repeated. Alright, left or right first? Well, I think we're going to end there, so let's go right first. You're not even fighting. What are you guys doing? I haven't heard from Zerk in a while. Now they're fighting. But I don't think... So you notice that the health... Most of these have like a... He's healing. The droid was healing himself. I thought... Oh no, that's me healing. She's looking at the wrong end. I think Amity's actually doing the damage. Usually in these kind of canned scenes, they'll do like 20% damage or 10% damage, and then the droid won't take any more damage after that. It's like in this fight here, right? You know, it's like this one is at 80%. These are healing though, but they'll drop down, and there'll be a limit on, like, it won't let you just stand there and let the NPCs do all the work type of thing. I'm assuming the droids are enemies. Yep. Can we out DPS the heals? We can. It's like a feast going on in here. Gormak lived well. What's going on here? Don't know. It looks like a vote or a ballot box. We've got some good food going on there. They keep their dishes stacked nicely. That's good. More feasty stuff. Oh, the grill. Holy cow. Gormak are living large. This must be the bar. A little more grilling. Something cooking in a pot. It's kind of rude for the intruders to break into the kitchen. I mean, really. Right, another grill over here. Kind of a cool little section. That does not look appetizing, though. I'm not a big seafood fan, though, and that kind of has a lobstery feel to it. They probably don't appreciate me walking down their table. Maybe eat that. I think I'd go for the... Let's go back to the... Oh, what do we got hanging here? Hanging meats. That kind of looks like a ham steak. I'd eat that. Not a huge vegetable fan, but in a pinch. And I guess if you want to look at ship departures. So this is probably, this has been in the game for a while, I think, this display, this texture. So it's just a way to not have to add new assets, but kind of give a feel to this. At first I thought it might be like a menu or something, but it's not. In the original story, the Gormak didn't even have spaceships, so it's interesting that they went with that. They were building one, but... Alright, on to the other side. That's right, medical droid. You can't heal if you're laying down. Alright, these were mercenaries. Zerka, okay, still Zerka though. Alright, what do we got going on over here? Surprise! Yep, so there, that opened that up. So, all right, what do we got in here? So this kind of cabling is the same as those ceiling mounted items. That's kind of cool. This section not as cool. The kitchen area was pretty awesome. This is arguably a little boring. This is a way to add depth to the world, right? So, you know, it exists, and it's like it makes the space feel bigger than it is. But right now, anyway, it's nowhere we can go. So some kind of a, almost looks like a reactor or something here. It's got ramps down to it. We're going to assume probably that's like an extendable bridge, maybe? It's hard to tell. It's hard to see in that way. But yeah, so it adds to the world without creating more navigatable space. It's less work, resources, time to build this out. But if you can't walk in here and you can't get in here, you don't have to worry about nav meshes and pathfinding and collision boxes and all the stuff that if you were going to be able to walk in there, you'd have to deal with. So, all right, well, I'm going to say, I don't want to say disappointed in this side. This side's not near as cool as the detail on that kitchen side. It just seemed to be a little more heavily done, but again, also just a storage hangar isn't going to have as much stuff in it. So, all right, get to the central office. We shall. Definitely, this place is. I can't tell if they're same thing. Are they in restoration, or are they just messy? Like if we go to the kitchen area, like. So yeah, so this area, you know what? It doesn't have crap all over the floor. So they're not just messy. You know, so here you start to see the broken bits of stuff, you know, from the entrance. So this just could be just they've been restoring this, because even the stuff hanging from the ceiling kind of makes it look like it's not in full repair. And then in here, broken-y bits of stuff all over the floor. So I'll give the Gormak some credit. They cleaned up their where they eat. That's kind of cool. Let's see if they cleaned up the central office here. All right. There's a conversation. Oh.
Stand down now.
Not a conversation there. Alright. I'm going to do something that gets me in trouble, but I escaped out of that animation. It might be nothing. I doubt there's a conversation linked to it. But me being me, I've got to know. This is the exact thing that broke my mission in the first place, is doing stuff like this. But now that we know what to do, this will be pretty quick. We are going to have to fight in there again, but that's alright. Alright, rock and roll. Come on, hit me. Hit me with an explosion. more Zerka death. Alright, so we'll rip through these guys pretty quick. Now that we've done all of our exploration and looking around and stuff like that, we'll power run through this section. We do get more conquest points for killing these guys. Alright, for this fight, we're going to make sure we take out these two healer droids first. That'll make life a lot easier. There we go. Over to the other side. Same thing, take out the healer. The other guys drop pretty quick. Alright, this time I won't be so quick on the escape key. We'll let this play out. And again, I think it's probably just going to be a little mini cutscene and then we're just going to have to fight anyway, but for completeness. So they just turned red, so. And usually if there's going to be a conversation,
Do you hear
they
me?
would stay
Can't have you
green.
running around messing things up.
Yeah, we would have missed this though.
What did I just say about not moving? Stay put. It's for your own good.
What I don't
Heads
like
up, we got
about
an
this one
intruder.
is if there's any choices, doesn't look like there's going to be. Yep.
Stand down now.
We wouldn't have been able to leave the conversation and come back because
I don't have
it just
time
puts you
for
directly
this.
into combat. A lot of times in something like this, though, you'll walk in and the captain will stay green and get the conversation bubble above their head.
I don't have
And then
time for this.
you start the conversation and it leads to combat. This one was directly to combat. So mostly it was just a cutscene. We didn't have any chance to talk to him. So. I am stronger than the Gormak.
Lumbo muambun tuturulan katehe kunni mu konamban. Kumdue jiwai mam lui chao tapai duengor se now lam la sao.
Ooh, accusations.
Nei så fundi ko naka neva ei aknagnan ni matan. Ni go wide up why chakamran. Kumongi why hey triole. Kum ni go why bam lui chotai fai lai angor sun ei lam sayo. Nei så fundi ko naka neva ei aknagnan ni matan. Dan foi vutagan aknan chok tontai. Vebegor ne så fun. Lumbo mongbon tulran.
I haven't done this yet. I'm curious. Arkin's the one that attacked him. Will he talk to Arkin?
Dan foi vutat ni go wide.
Lumbo muambun kumdue
Kom ni go nei så fundi. Ni go wide up wide chakamran. Kom ni go wide nei så fundi
Yeah, and those were the same options. 2 and 3 gave the same conversations. Alright, well, evidently they don't recognize Arkin, since he's the one that destroyed their planet. Alright, Amity, where are you at?
If you wish. Then for
Probably go with 2.
Wawaska, Bam King Gungham Trongwang Lao, the Chow Troksha, Nay so fun.
So this part of the conversation was to be the same.
Then for Vutagan Achnan Chok Tontai, Vebegor.
Alright, just in case we fall off the end of the conversation, we're going to go to 2.
Nay so.
So, you're foolish, you're right. This is just an inquiry.
Nigo Wai that Wai Chakamran. Kumongi Wai He Triole. Kumniku Wai Bam Louis Chotai Fai Liam Gor Sun A Lam Sayo.
Still think they should learn basic.
He's
taking accountability. Holy cow. That is taken full on Gormak's side. It's pseudo Provoss. Yeah, we'll probably go with 2 there. Interesting. Yeah, that's true.
Nei so fun de ko naga neva aknan ni matan. Dan for vutagan achnan chok.
Gotta give him credit. He's taking accountability.
We go wide up why chakamran. Kumongi why he triole.
We'll stay neutral.
Dan for vutagan achnan chok tontai. Vebegor nesafun.
Return to Kodam. Is that back in the base? Yep, so that's back in at least where we started before the work amok. That's where that conversation is. Yeah, I don't think there's anything left there. Alright, we'll do one last look around, because again, I'm not sure we'll get back in here. Find the very tiny Mawar. Alright, that one we're going to look up. What's it called? Where he's just a little guy. Past the market on his basket's fruit and head into the alley behind. Oh, this looks to be a... Where's the little guy pet? Once complete, it is intended to be done over the course of 15 days. Oh yeah, there's going to be... Oh, we do need that peppery slime gourd. So we're going to need that later. Oh, this is a whole series, so 3 ingredients. Discarded warrior stick from the Canteen and Crisis quest. So that must be one of the dailies. Little guys, peppery slime gourd. Okay. Powerful nutrients. Make malwar chow. $22-hour cooldown. Okay, so looks like you find the little guy and then you have to feed him 15 times, and some of the stuff only happens once a day. So that'll be a long one. We're not rocky outcroppings on the edge of the map or on the edges of the standing bodies of water. Zerk operatives are attacking us on boss until the story missions come out. Yeah. We'll award you a hidden achievement. Once you defeat your first one. Okay. Since we accidentally killed one, that's why we got it. So that's just a grindy one. Alright, so we are going to do a couple of things here, and this is probably where we're going to wrap here in a bit. Let's wrap this mission. I want to look for a vendor.
I heard there were mystics who volunteered to survey the Shrine of Silence.
Flashpoint gear.
It is complex work.
I hope Maiden Jah denied their request. That place should be left alone.
I'm surprised you believe
What
the
does
rumors
this
about it.
take? Tech
What could
fragments.
be in there that is so terrible?
So this nutrient here. Yeah, so this costs tech fragments, and you make the chow with that. I don't know if any of these... Oh, this is what I should have saved my tech fragments for. We unlock some contemplation thing. Crew skill. Flashpoint. I don't see anything that is contemplation specific. Boss awnings. Boss park bench. This does say achievements. Maybe that's what it unlocked. I can't imagine it's any of these. So maybe that's the contemplation park bench, I guess. I don't know. Alright, one other thing we're going to check. Where do you get the meat? Oh, that's from a Cantina in Crisis. We're going to go look at that here in a second. Alright, the other thing we're going to do is slide back around here and see if we can find the little dude. So he should be... I think behind this building over here. Which we went over here. How did we not see him? Whoa. Okay. I know we were in this area earlier, but... Alright, so he's just a little guy. We found him. And then there is the... So, remember, this was a space between these two? So you can get this guy, little guy, as a pet. But you have to feed him 15 times. And to feed him, you have to get, like, Maorar Chow. And to get the Maorar Chow, you have to get this item here. Let's come back out here to wrap up our exploration stuff. Can't believe that didn't pop earlier, though. We were definitely... We looked all around this particular area. Oh, nope. Okay. We maybe missed our chance, or it might be it only spawns in the mission. There's a mission that will take us up here, and you can find in this big kitchen, you can find a steak. I didn't see anything that was glowy, so the mission we were on might not have had it, but there's something called a Cantina in Crisis. So you have to run that mission to get the steak to make the chow. Okay. So we're not gonna worry about that right now because we're not to the point where we can run the dailies yet. And then doing that 15 times, eek. Now I think, at least by the way I read this, powerful nutrients cost tech fragments. They can be refunded to the vendor within 2 hours. Try speeding it up with multiple characters. Yeah, it doesn't consume the nutrients. So even though they're expensive, once you have them, you can just use them over and over. You just have to find the other two items. Okay. That's not too bad. I'll make sure I save the tech fragments to do that. Alright, let's see what happens when we go in here.
Ne so fundi ko naganeva at nagnan ni matan. Onding trang vindong fa langi rich mung kumodiwa. Ni go word up why chakamrang. Kumongi why he triole. Dan for fudagan achnan choktontai.
Oh, hey, Logan. Didn't see you pop in. Hold on a second. Yeah, you can. For the most part, so the original game starts you, depending on, what character you play. Troopers and smugglers start on Ord Mantell, and where's Tython? The Jedi start on Tython. And then, so the story is designed to go from planet to planet. Now, I could go to Tython right now if I wanted to. I can just travel there. Then you go to Coruscant, right? And so the story arc takes you from planet to planet. But yeah, if I wanted to go to Hoth, Hoth's out here, I can just click travel, and I could go to Hoth and run around. Most of the planets have like daily heroics that you can run. So the other thing that I could do is if I just pop up here, I could say I want to run the Hoth daily heroics, right? And so I can, now it won't let me travel from inside this instance, but so I can just jump to these planets and run daily missions on them as well. So yeah, so there's a natural story order. The planets have an order. I don't remember it 100%, but on the Republic side, it's Ord Mantell and Tython. Then you go to Coruscant. Then it'll be Terrace after that. Nar Shaddaa is next. Here's where my memory is going to start getting fuzzy. I think Tatooine, level 24. Belsavis is later. That's level 40. Hoth is 37. Maybe Quesh. Yeah, 36 to 37. So it's... Let's see. Nar Shaddaa is 24. There's got to be something. It's Balmora, I bet. Balmora is probably next. Yep, 32 to 36. So Nar Shaddaa, then 36 to 37 for Quesh. So yeah, I can't remember the exact order, but But so the main story works you through the planets in general.
Nee, så fun det går nada nej. Unding trang vindung. Ni go word up why chakana. Then for that hand achnan.
All right. About to find out that your people are horrible.
There is a considerable amount of Gormak technology in this.
Vietnaman tatalo void.
Oh, he doesn't sound happy.
How did the invaders come to possess this?
All right, let's start with 3.
Kodam, choose your words carefully. What do you know about this?
Huavaska. Bam ki na kung ham trong wang lao. The chow troksha. Ni go word up why chakana. Come on me. Why hey triole.
Cormac,
That is encouraging to hear, Kodam.
come clean. Got to give him credit for that.
You are correct. The next step is to learn all we can about them. Our researchers will study this device.
Okay, let's go
Nee, so
There,
a little pro-Vossi here.
Huavaska. Bam ki na kung ham trong wang lao. The chow troksha.
I appreciate your honesty. The actions of a few should not reflect the will of all Gormak. The truce
That's good to
stands
hear.
firm.
Mong yen li yang mu dam she du gai ku ka.
All right, let's see if Kodam just comes clean or if he lies.
Huavaska. Bam ki na kung ham trong wang lao. The chow troksha.
I think I hit 2. I think it's the same thing as 1 though.
There, out.
Huavaska. Bam.
Yeah,
Nee, so
There, out.
I think those are the same.
Huavaska. Bam.
I appreciate your honesty.
Mong yen.
All right, we did that one.
You are correct. The next step is to learn all we can about them. Our researchers will study this.
So I think that researchers is going to be the kickoff to the
Nee,
next
so
mission.
There, out.
Huavaska.
You are correct.
That's the
next-
same as well. So not a lot of variety in this one.
Nee, so
There, out. Kodam,
Huavaska. Ni go word.
that is encouraging to hear. You are correct. Our researchers will.
Yeah, there's not a lot of variety in this one.
Nee, so
There,
But it's
out.
kind of a Nexus Conversations.
Huavaska.
You are correct. Our researchers will study this device and divine its purpose. Doing so will allow us to track the invaders and avoid unnecessary destruction.
Ni go word. Why chakana. Come on me. Why hey triole.
Your actions have given us leverage in this fight, but the harm done has been extensive. Our work in the Shrine of Contemplation was already behind. Zerka's presence has thrown the reconstruction into chaos. Some damage can be repaired. But if we cannot complete the restoration, it will leave a lasting scar. Until the work has resumed, the 3 will not turn their attention to you. You have proven to be more than capable for such a task. Let our people do their work, and we minimize battle in our most sacred places. Perhaps this is hard for an outsider to understand. You are very skilled at what you do. Rare talent combined with training that sets you apart. Now, imagine you are part of a society that works to hone your abilities to a greater purpose. Our shrines are built for this singular purpose. But now those shrines, built over generations, are destroyed, reduced to rubble by the Eternal Empire. In that moment, it was as if our eyes were shut. We were cut off from our purpose. We do not restore buildings. We ignite our purpose once more, until we find that light again. Everything else, the invaders, the truce, the relics, is secondary.
Wow, that was quite a monologue. I'm just curious. Grab Ark in here. See if they...
They're out. You're out, son. Your offer to help is a telling display of empathy for both the Gormak and the
hit the
Voss.
mic there.
I want you to understand you are very skilled now. Imagine you are, but now those shrines built in that moment. We do not restore building until we find that.
Yeah, they don't seem to care that Ark is my companion, who was the person that destroyed their planet.
They're out. You're out, son. You are very skilled at what now? Imagine, but now those shrines in that moment. We do not until we find.
Yeah, I pretty much get the same thing. So.
Perhaps. But as I said, we cannot risk chaos in the tunnels because of a random search. Never fear. There is much to be done. We need help.
I got a little nervous there. I hate getting towards the end when I'm trying to explore the conversations.
You are very skilled now, but we didn't. Perhaps. But as I said, never fear. There is.
Yep. So 2 and 3 give us the same little bit of conversation. There, so.
You're out, son. You are now, but we didn't. You have more than earned the right to understand. But we cannot sit idle during this time. We need help in ways other than stopping the invaders. Offer your skills, and the 3 will notice. Do you understand? The importance of what they do cannot be understated. Now.
Alright. Make one little change to conversation.
Out. You're out,
and then I think we're done with this.
Your offer to help is a telling display of empathy for both the Gormak and the Voss. You are very now, but we didn't. You have more than earned the right. We need help in ways. The importance of what they do cannot be understated. Now, I must update the 3 on the situation. They will be understandably curious about how the invaders obtained Gormak technology.
Oh, I think we're gonna get some more. Oh, yeah, that's a whole little section that I didn't think we would have to explore. But...
You're out, son. You now, but in that moment, they will.
So I think that attending to the free workers feels like the end. We're definitely not going to go that route.
You're out, son. You now, but in that we didn't. They.
Alright, so that was very anti-Voss.
So
it feels like you can definitely take the Gormak side or the Voss. More the Gormak side than the Voss's side.
You are out. You're out, son. You're off. You now, but we didn't. You they.
Nu hung vijek la muloymi vagi uchep the tongue truen. Huavaska Bam gegen Unham Trongwang Blau, the Chow Droksha. Weideren Dang Gold.
That's pretty solid.
Nay, so
They're out. You're outside. You now in we in. We
Dan foi Vudagan Achnan Chok Tontai. Webegor Nesafun. Unding Trang Vindung Fa Lengi Rich Mung Kumodiwa. Kumniku Wai Bam Louis Chotai Fai Lion Gor Sun A Lam Sayo. I'm back Ginoton.
Alright, there's the freed workers line. Alright,
Nay, so
I think we're close here.
You are correct. You're outside. You now in we in. We
Puavaska, Nu Hon Puavaska, Bam, Weideren, Dang, Gorka de Lavat. I'm back.
There's the freed worker line. Okay. I think we've got all the data we need here.
they're out.
Puavaska,
You are correct. You're outside. You now in we in.
We can help. I will help. Thanks for being a friend.
Dan foi Vudagan Achnan, Unding Trang Vindung Fa Lengi Kumniku Wai Bam, I'm back Ginoton Fu, Drojin Trangan. Dan foi Vudagan Achnan Chok Tontai, Webegor Nesafun.
Okay, aiding efforts. So yeah, so aiding efforts then is the next mission. Help out restoration efforts 2. This is turned purple, so now... Okay, there we go. So this is probably... Collect specialty tools. These are probably the dailies now that we're getting into. Gather supplies for the Gormak. Scan for the missing transport. Locate the first set of tablets. I don't see one named Cantina something or other. Let's see. Anything else pop up new? Does not look like it. That's the flashpoint over there. Yeah, I don't see anything out here unless... I don't think there were any mission givers out there, but let's take a peek. This is more exploration for next time. So they do this sometimes where they'll use the story to introduce the dailies. So the first time you do them, you saw this on Oricon, where the first time you do the missions, you know, there's the story version, but then after that, they turn into dailies. Yeah, so we probably can't pick that up. Oh, we can. We have 2 of them. Awesome. That is cool. So while we're exploring, if we run across any of those, we can grab them. Because we're going to need 15 of them.
All fixed up.
I forgot I still had Arkin. The other thing I read is these Zerka infiltrators like to hang out around rock croppings and water. So you probably just have to, you know, you kind of just find these areas and drive around till you get ambushed. I think one popped us here. I think it's our first one. So I don't know if you just drive around and hope. Oh. Okay, so see here? Alerted. There are enemies nearby. Now, is that something up there? I don't think it's them. Could be them. Alright, not sure. That's probably for one of these missions. Alright, let's make sure there's no new missions up here. Yeah, I didn't expect there to be. Feels like the Interpreter's Retreat down here is the... So I don't think those explosions have anything to do with the Zerka people. The Interpreter's Retreat's like the quest hub. It's feeling like. Try not to pick up any area attacks there. I'm guessing while you're running dailies, though. There's another one. Grab as many of those as we can find. At least until we get 15. I mean, there's no real point in getting more than that. But yeah, I'm guessing just as you run dailies and stuff. Like I said, we've already found 2. Oh, there's one up there. We gotta go get it. Let's break combat here first. So yeah, it doesn't look like those are going to be too hard to get. But I think the limiting factor is there's going to be a daily quest. And you could probably do it on alts. Make sure we are stacking these up. Yeah. There's going to be a daily quest to get the meat that I think you can only get like once a day per character. So if you wanted to, if you had a bunch of alts at this point, you could do, you know, that to create a bunch of the chow. But as soon as we get access to that quest, we're probably going to want to start running it. If it stacks like these peppery slime gourds do, then you could start also saving those up. Oh, there's another one. Okay. I don't think these are going to be too terribly difficult to get 15 of. Kind of reminds me there's... I can't remember exactly what it is. There's an item you have to collect on Balsavis in the ancient prison part. Oh, we pulled more aggro. Alright, come over here. You two, come over here. And there's just certain spawn locations. These are the same way. People are making maps and stuff of where all the slime gourds are spawning, or where they've been found. They definitely feel easier to find than the Zerka people. Oh, you can't meditate again. That's too bad. Be cool if you could just do it. It wouldn't have any effect, but yeah, maybe the other thing we might have to do is, instead of running around on a speeder, you know, maybe I'm blowing past these areas too fast and it's not triggering the Zerka guys to attack. I'll have to experiment with that a little bit as well. All right. Well, I think we learned a lot about the new content today. Got a lot more of the achievements done than I was planning on doing. I was just going to save those all for later. But we accidentally found a couple. Looked up a couple. Let's see. We had one up there. It doesn't look like it's respawned. I know we found a couple down here. Not sure what the respawn rate is on our slime gourds. So. They dotted me up. But we'll keep our eyes open for them as we play and do dailies and all that kind of stuff. Alright, with that being said, the last order of business. We're going to go ahead and head back to our stronghold here. And again, I'm going to be very careful. I don't want to finish these missions in case it would break my old wounds reset. Because I do want to redo these all in a more organized fashion. Alright, let's see how bad our repair bill is. I don't think it'll be too bad. Yeah, we have a third of our slimy gourds or whatever. Peppery slime gourds. Alright, so 11, that would have been 89, 90, so about 700,000. Oh yeah, we didn't actually lose money today. 320, 320, 320. We'll get the tech fragments and conquest stuff out of these. 13 and 6. Not too bad. Let's check our... Yeah, we need to save up our tech fragments. We just burnt through those. That's getting to be full again. Yeah, we got 28 notes of reflection for next time. Alright, I think that puts us at a good stopping spot. So, next week I'll save these. They have said 1 to 2 weeks on the fix, so we'll see. Cross my fingers if they get that fix done. You know, what I'm hoping, so let's just get optimistic here, is I can finish these missions. It'll open up the world, but then I can go back and redo old wounds again. May or may not do that on stream. We might just start doing this as a daily area on stream. That'll give us something new to do. But again, like completing this, like this achievement, I think we're going to get when we do these, help out the restoration efforts. We definitely knocked out some stuff here. These we're going to have to figure out. And again, these might also be linked to the daily areas. Let's see, what's it called? Let's slide back up. So I'm on a web page right now. What do we have? We have Rustle in the Leaves, Grunch, Crunch, and Roving Menace. Rustle in the Leaves. Let's look that one up. Alright, so these look to be... So these look to be just champions. Find and defeat Susurs 1 time. And then there's a hidden achievement to kill them 5 times. So that's something we'll probably want to mark out. Oh, we've been to some of these areas, so they must be a rare spawn. Yeah, I've been to all these areas and I didn't see them. They're champions and they're big, so we would have noticed them. That one maybe. I think I might have seen that one. I just wasn't paying attention. So here's what I'm looking at is, this one looks like we might have seen it. We've been down this like lake at the end here a bunch of times and haven't seen him. So I don't know if they are a rare spawn or 3 large enemies in the area to fight. You may have a difficult time fighting them alone. They easily be done with 3 to 4 players or 2 skilled ones. I can do a lot, so we'll give them a shot solo if I find one. Okay, so that's what those are. And what else do we have? That'll just happen over time. That's something we'll have to start working on once we start doing the daily areas. Oh, we're doing all right, though. Droids, yeah, we're going to blow past that one. That one will be easy. This one's not too bad. We're already cleaning up on that. Repeatable missions, that'll just happen over time. Oh, there's some for the Voss and some for the Gormak. I hope you don't have to choose. Guiding the Gormak. I hope you can do both. My worry there is if you go down one path, do you only do one, which means I have to do another character. I get frustrated when that kind of stuff happens. So, all right. Well, if you joined us this morning and today, thank you for the support. As always, we play for a charitable organization called Extra Life. You can find the link in the description down below and in the chat. Extra Life raises money for the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals. So if you find my link and can donate, that's great. If you're unable to, that's fine as well. Any support is help. Like, share, subscribe. Get other people to see the stream or send other people my link. Friends of a friend who can donate is just as good, and you are part of that chain and part of the solution to really change the health of very sick kids and ones that need a lot of help. So as always, it's always appreciated, whatever you can do. I think that the stream has ended because of a disconnect. So I will see you all next week. Take care. Oh, right. I don't know what the video is going to look like. We had a huge kind of internet hiccup right there as we were heading out. So the game disconnected, the stream disconnected. So I don't know if this will attach to the end or what's going to happen. But with that being said, I hope everybody has a great week, great weekend. I'm not sure which parts got caught at the end of the stream. But as always, go watch, play, or create something great. Support great causes, and I'll see you all next weekend.